The first dynasty of ancient Egypt covers the first series of Egyptian kings to rule over a unified Egypt. It immediately follows the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt, possibly by Narmerth, and marks the beginning of the early dynastic period of Egypt, a time at which power was centered at Thinis. The date of this period is subject to scholarly debate in the context of the chronology of ancient Egypt. It falls into the early Bronze Age and is variously estimated to have begun anywhere between the 34th and the 30th centuries BC. In a 2013 study based on radiocarbon dates, the beginning of the First Dynasty was placed close to 3100 BC. Rulers. Known rulers in the history of Egypt for the First Dynasty are as follows. Information about this dynasty is derived from a few monuments and other objects bearing royal names, the most important being the Narmer Palace in Macehead as well as dennamed Qaa king lists. No detailed records of the first two dynasties have survived, except for the terse lists on the Palermo stone. The account in Manetho's Egyptica contradicts both the archaeological evidence and the other historical records. Manetho names 9 rulers of the First Dynasty, only one of whose names matches the other sources, and offers information for only 4 of them. The hieroglyphs were fully developed by then, and the shapes would be used with little change for more than 3,000 years. Large tombs of pharaohs at Abydos and Nakada, in addition to cemeteries at Saqqara and Helwan near Memphis, reveal structures built largely of wood and mud bricks, with some small use of stone for walls and floors. Stone was used in quantity for the manufacture of ornaments, vessels, and occasionally, for statues. Tamarisk, salt cedar was used to build boats such as the Abydos boats. One of the most important indigenous woodworking techniques was the fixed mortise and tenon joint. A fixed tenon was made by shaping the end of one timber to fit into a mortise that is cut into a second timber. A variation of this joint using a free tenon eventually became one of the most important features in Mediterranean and Egyptian shipbuilding. It creates a union between 2 planks or other components by inserting a separate tenon into a cavity of the corresponding size cut into each component. Human sacrifice as part of royal funerary practice. Human sacrifice was practiced as part of the funerary rituals associated with all of the pharaohs of the First Dynasty. It is clearly demonstrated as existing during this dynasty by retainers being buried near each pharaoh's tomb as well as animals sacrificed for the burial. The tomb of Dija is associated with the burials of 338 individuals. The people and animals sacrificed, such as donkeys, were expected to assist the pharaoh in the afterlife. For unknown reasons, this practice ended with the conclusion of the dynasty, with shatters taking the place of actual people to aid the pharaohs with the work expected of them in the afterlife. Bibliography. Kurt, Amelia, The Ancient Near East. C. 3000-330 BC, London. Routledge, ISBN 978-0-415-01353-6. Shaw, Ian. The Oxford History of Ancient Egypt, Oxford. Oxford University Press, ISBN 0-19-280458-8.